Hello and welcome back to our channel. Before we dive into yet another fascinating and mysterious stories, I would like to invite you to watch, to like, and subscribe to the channel. Also, activate the notification sound. Are you about to uncover something that will forever change the way you see the world? This isn't just another new spiritual secret. It's an ancient technique, so powerful it was kept hidden for centuries, reserved only for those ready to understand it. If you're hearing this, it's no accident. Something inside you is ready to awaken, and I can sense it. You're about to discover something that's been there all along, waiting for you to find it. The secret that only a few are brave enough to share. Do you remember the last time you felt a strange chiller, had a moment where you just knew something without knowing how? You weren't imagining it. You were touching the thin barrier that separates two worlds. There are two realities that exist in parallel, and you move through both, even if you're only aware of one. For ages, certain people have guarded this sacred knowledge. They learned how to move between these realities with ease. Just like you move from one room to another in your home, they weren't any different from you. They simply knew how to activate this dormant ability. What I'm about to share with you has been passed down in whispers from teacher to student for generations. Why so many secrets? Because this knowledge is powerful, like fire. It can illuminate your path or burn you, depending on how you use it. But something is changing in the world, and I feel it. And I know you feel it too. Something is waking up inside of you, as if a part of you is beginning to recognize a truth it's always known. Do you feel that sensation? Like you're about to remember something important? Listen closely. Your inner voice is trying to guide you. Before we go further, I need you to do something. Close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath. Can you feel the air filling your lungs? Now ask yourself, am I truly ready to see beyond the veil? Once you learn this technique, there's no going back. Your perception of reality will be forever changed. Imagine for a moment that you have a third eye. I'm not talking about something mystical or strange, but a natural ability that's as much a part of you as your ability to dream. In fact, every night when you dream, you unconsciously use this power. Have you ever wondered how you can see, feel, and experience things so vividly in your dreams, without your physical eyes being involved? This gift isn't something you need to acquire. You already have it. It's like a muscle. You've stopped using Gore, a radio station you've stopped tuning into. Right now, it's there inside you, waiting for you to remember how to activate it. Think about a newborn baby. Have you ever noticed how they seem to gaze at empty spaces with a smile? Or how young children often talk about things adults can't see? They aren't imagining, they're using this ability naturally, just as you can. The most fascinating part is that your brain processes far more information than you realize. Studies have shown that we're only aware of a small fraction of what our senses pick up. Do you remember the last time you felt someone staring at you, only to turn around and see them watching? That wasn't just a coincidence, it was your inner vision at work. Every time you had a gut feeling that turned out to be right. Every time you knew something was about to happen just before it did. Every time you thought of someone right before they collided. Those weren't coincidences. They were moments when your natural gift kicked in. Just like a muscle reflex. As you hear this, I want you to do an exercise. Pay attention to what you feel on your forehead, right between your eyebrows. Do you notice a slight pressure or gentle tingling? Some might feel warmth, others a soft prickling. No matter the sensation, what matters is that you're beginning to focus on the activation point of your inner vision. You're already laying the groundwork. To awaken this forgotten gift, imagine you're building a house, not just any house, but a bridge between two worlds. What foundation would you need? That's exactly what the ancient masters asked themselves. And after centuries of study, they discovered three core elements that are essential. Without any one of them, the whole structure would collapse. That's why I need you to pay close attention to each one. The first pillar is conscious silence. But I'm not talking about the quiet you get when you turn off the TV. I'm talking about a deeper silence. The space between your thoughts where your true power resides. Do you remember those moments? Right before you fall asleep, when your mind finally quiets. That's the kind of silence we must cultivate. But while staying fully awake and aware, the second pillar is sacred breathing. Right now, you breathe automatically. But what happens when you take conscious control of your breath? Something amazing happens. Your body and mind begin to sync up. The ancients discovered that certain breathing patterns act as keys, unlocking new levels of perception. This is no coincidence. In all ancient traditions, breath was seen as the linchpin, the visible, and the invisible. Directed focus is our third pillar, and it's probably the hardest to master in today's world, full of distractions. Think of your attention like a laser beam. When it's scattered, it barely makes an impact. But when focused on one point, it can cut through steel. Your ability to maintain focus is like a muscle that gets stronger with practice. And when you combine this pillar with the other two, something powerful happens. These three pillars work together, like the ingredients of an old recipe. When mixed in the right way, and at the right time, they create a synergy that unlocks something within you that was dormant. It's like having three different keys, and you need all of them to unlock the ultimate door. Before diving into specific techniques, we need to talk about preparation. A common mistake is thinking you need to create a fancy space with candles, incense, and symbols. While these things can set a mood, the most important preparation happens in a much more personal space. Your mind. Think of your mind as a garden that has been left to grow wild for years. With thoughts and emotions sprouting everywhere, it's time to take control and become the gardener of your own mental space. You don't need to clear everything all at once. Just start by creating a small, clear area where you can begin working. The preparation for your personal space starts with a simple but powerful step: making a conscious decision. Every time you decide to practice, you're setting aside a special moment in your day. This can happen in your bedroom, a quiet park, or even during your lunch break at work. The physical location doesn't matter. What matters is your intention and commitment. Factors like temperature, light, and noise can affect your practice, but you don't need perfect conditions. In fact, learning to work with whatever is around you is part of the practice. Is there traffic outside? Great. Use that as a tool to help you deepen your focus. What's most important in preparing your space is consistency. 10 minutes of practice every day, even in less than ideal conditions, is better than waiting for the perfect time. Your mind learns through repetition, and each time you create this special moment, even briefly, you strengthen the foundation of your practice. Now we come to the most powerful part of this journey, the SCP Breathing Ritual. This is more than just a simple breathing exercise. It's a key that unlocks states of consciousness you might not have known were possible. Why 7 breaths? Because this number corresponds to the SCP levels of depth need to go through to reach expanded awareness. The first breath is like opening a window in a room that's been closed for years. As you inhale, imagine drawing golden light into your body. Don't worry about seeing it, just focus on the intention. As you exhale, feel any tension leaving your body, like dust being blown away. This first breath sets the tone for everything that follows. With the second and third breaths, you might start to notice something. With the second breath, your chest begins to feel lighter. You're not just breathing air anymore, you're breathing awareness. With the third breath, the noise in your mind starts to fade. A deeper quiet begins to settle in. You feel more still, more present. By the fourth breath, your focus sharpens. You begin to sense a boundary, a thin veil between this world and another. And it's getting thinner with the fifth breath. You feel warmth in the center of your forehead. This is your gateway, your third eye beginning to stir. With the sixth breath, your body relaxes completely. No tension, no holding, only presence. The seventh breath is your turning point. As you breathe in, imagine light pouring through your forehead, through your chest, through every cell of your being. As you breathe out, feel yourself opening, as if something ancient within you stretching its wings. You may feel tingles, you may feel nothing, but something has shifted. You are no longer just hearing this. You are experiencing it. This is the doorway. This is the place where your inner vision begins to awaken. What you've just done is not pretend, it's not imagination, it's activation. Now we go deeper. Let's talk about seeing without eyes. This may sound strange, but you've already done it. Every time you dream, you see entire worlds without using your physical eyes. Where do those images come from? Who creates them? It's not just memory. It's not just your brain recycling old thoughts. There's a level of consciousness beneath, the one you use every day. It's like the ocean beneath the surface waves. In that place, you don't think in words, you feel in symbols. You receive information in pulses like flashes of understanding, and that's what we're tapping into. There is a divine intelligence always sending you signals, but you have to learn how to listen. The voice of your soul is not loud, it's quiet, it speaks in whispers, in feelings, in sudden clarity. Have you ever had an idea come to you out of nowhere, something you didn't plan but just knew was right? That's the voice. That's the light breaking through. And here's something you should know. That voice has never left you. You've just been trained not to hear it. The world teaches noise, it rewards reaction, it pulls your focus outward, but this journey is inward. That's why we build the 3 pillars: silence, breath, and focus, because they bring you home to yourself. Now, I want to teach you something else. It's a technique. The ancients used to step between realities. They called it the watching mind. It's simple, but it's powerful. Here's how it works. Sit quietly, breathe gently, and imagine that you are no longer your thoughts but the one watching them, like clouds in the sky. Let each thought float by without grabbing it, without judging it. Just notice, you are not your thoughts. You are the sky they pass through. At first, this will feel strange. You might get restless. You might feel bored. But if you keep watching, something incredible happens. Your thoughts start to slow down. Then, spaces appear. Gaps of silence. Moments of stillness. That's where your power lives. That's the space between the worlds. In that gap, you begin to feel things you didn't feel before. You might sense presence. You might see images that aren't from memory. You might feel emotions that don't belong to no but come from something ancient. Stay there. Don't rush. Let the silence speak. Sometimes, you'll hear nothing. That's okay. You're still training the connection. You're still tuning the signal, like adjusting a radio. You need patience, and each time you return, it gets clearer. It gets louder, it gets real. And here's the truth. Most people don't know. You don't have to do this perfectly. You just have to show up. The divine isn't looking for perfection. It's looking for presence. Every moment you choose awareness, a step toward the veil. Every breath you take with intention, an invitation to remember who you are. Now, I want you to hear something good. If it's being spoken directly to you, because it is, you are not lost, you are not broken, you are not behind, you are exactly where you need to be. Everything you've gone through is led you here. Every struggle, every heartbreak, every quiet moment of wandering off, there's more to life than this. It all brought you here. And now something inside you is waking up. You're not imagining that. It's real, and it's been waiting for you. So don't doubt yourself. Don't look for someone else to tell you're ready. You've always been. Now it's time to remember. And remembering doesn't mean learning something new. It means returning to what you already know deep inside. A truth beyond words. A knowing that feels more like homothon, anything the world has ever offered. Take another breath. Feel your body. Feel the space around you. This moment is sacred. Not because of where you are, what's around you, but because of your awareness. You're listening. You're here. That makes this moment divine. Now we go further. Are you ready? Now we go further. Are you ready? Because what comes next is not just knowledge, it's memory. It's soul memory. And once it returns, you'll never see life the same way again. Let's return to the breath. But this time, I want you to breathe, not just into your lungs, but into your awareness, as if each inhaler draws your spirit deeper into your body, and each exhalates everything that isn't yours to carry. Let go of the roles you've had to play. Let go of the masks. Let go of the expectations, of the noise. You don't need any of it here, right now. You are not your job, you are not your past, you are not your pain. You are awareness itself, light wearing skin. Spirit in human form, and that is the biggest secret of all. You are never just a body. You are a bridge, a portal, a connection between heaven and earth. That's why you feel things others don't. That's why you sense energies before others see them. That's why you've always known of them. If you couldn't explain, you thought there's something more. You weren't imagining it. You were remembering, and that's why you're here. 2. Remember. To awaken, to become what you already are, and you don't have to do it all at once. Awakening doesn't happen in a flash, it happens in layers, in moments. A quiet decision, a breath of trust, a whisper that says, yes, I'm ready now. You don't need anyone else to approve. You don't need permission. You just need willingness. Now, let's bring your awareness to the space around you. Feel into it, not with your hands, with your presence. Notice what it feels like to sense the energy of the room, the weight of silence, the way the air moves. You're not just imagining that. You're perceiving through the subtle senses, the ones that were never gone, just ignored. And as you do, you may start to feel something. Maybe a warmth on your skin, a pulse behind your forehead, a shimmer in the air. That's not fantasy, that's frequency. And here's the key: you are not just observing energy, you are it. Your thoughts, your emotions, your breath, your intention ripple out like waves. Everything you are is signals. You are not small, you are not separate, you are part of the entire field. And the field responds to you. Let's go deeper now. Let's talk about the veil. You may have heard that word before, but what is it really? It's not a wall, it's not a block, it's thin, like mist. It's simply the boundary between the physical and the energetic, the seen and the unseen. And most of the time, we walk right past it because we're too busy, too distracted, too focused on survival. But when you slow down, when you breathe, when you get still, you can feel it. And the veil isn't just around you, it's in you. That's why this work is inward, because the bridge between worlds is not found outside of you, it's found in the quiet center of your being. You don't need to travel anywhere, you don't need to chant in a cave. You just need to listen. To return to the stillness that's always been there beneath your thoughts. That stillness is the doorway. That's where your angels speak to you. That's where divine messages come through, not in lightning bolts, but in nudges, in whispers, in signs. You already know this. How many times have you asked for a sign, then seen it? How many times have you known something you couldn't explain but it turned out to be true? These are not tricks. They are guidance. And your guides, Izia, and you'll see, are always with you. Not floating somewhere in the sky, but right here in the energy beside you. In the frequencies that brush your skin when you pray. In the goosebumps that rise when you speak your truth. They are real, and they've been waiting for you to remember how to listen. Take another breath. This time, breathe with your heart, not just your chest. Feel your heart expanding. Let it soften. Let it open. Let it speak, because your heart is not just a muscle, it's a sensor, a portal, a sacred receiver of divine truth. That's why heartbreak hurts so much. Because your heart is deeply alive, deeply aware, deeply connected. And when you open it, you begin to feel the world in a new way. You start to hear things differently. Not just words but meaning. Vibration. Intention. This is what awakening does. It doesn't make you better. It makes you truer, more honest, more clear. More whole. And from that place, your entire life begins to shift. The way you see others, the way you see yourself. You begin to recognize that every person you meet is walking through their own veil, their own path, their own remembering. Some are just beginning. Some are deep in the journey, and some are still asleep. But you are waking up. And that changes everything, because once you wake up, you can no longer pretend to be asleep. You start to feel when things are out of alignment. You sense when people aren't being real. You know when something's a feven if no one says it out loud. That's not being sensitive, that's being connected. You are tuned in, not to fear, not to illusion, but to truth, and yes, it can be overwhelming. But you're not alone in this. You were never meant to walk this path alone. There are others like you, other beings, who see beyond the surface, other souls who remember the light, and when you speak your truth, you'll begin to find them. That's how it works. The more you become yourself, the more you attract those who speak your soul's language, and together you create something powerful. A collective awakening, a ripple through the field, a rising of the light, and it all starts here. With a breath. With a choice. With this moment, you begin to change the future. Not just yours, but the future of others, too. Because when one soul awakens, it sends a signal, a silent broadcast, a pulse through the grid of consciousness. You may not see it, but others feel it. Like a light turning on in the dark. Your energy speaks louder than your words. Every time you choose stillness over stress, love over fear, truth over pretend, you raise the field, and here's the miracle. You don't have to do anything grand. You don't need a platform. You don't need fame or followers. Your presence is your power. A calm heart in the middle of chaos, more powerful than 1,000 loud voices, because calm isn't passive, it's sovereign. It's divine alignment, and when your aligned you begin to receive from beyond the veil, from your higher self, from your guides. And you don't have to beg, you don't have to prove yourself. All you have to do is ask. Ask from the heart, and then listen. Not with your ears, but with your being. The answers will come. Maybe not in the way you expect, but they will come. In patterns, in dreams, in people who suddenly enter your life, in words that hit you like thunder. And when they do, you'll know, you'll feel it in your bones. Because truth doesn't shout, it resonates. That's how you recognize it. By the way, your whole body says, yes, that's it, that's true. So here's what I want you to do next, not later, not tomorrow, right now. Place your hand on your heart, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and whisper this. I am ready to see. I am ready to remember. I am ready to awaken the gift within me. Say it again, slower this time. Let each word echo through your chest. Because when you speak truth with intention, it activates something ancient. And your angels hear it. They've been waiting for this moment. They don't need perfection, they need permission. Your permission. They are always around you, but they honor your will. They wait for your invitation, so invite them, out loud, or silently. It doesn't matter. Just say, show me, guide me, lead me back to my soul, and then stay open. The signs will come. You'll feel a warmth. In your chest, you'll see repeating numbers. You'll hear a phrase in a song that speaks directly to your heart. And that's how you know the conversation has begun. Because yes, it's a conversation. Prayer is not a one-way street. When you speak, they hear. When you listen, they speak. But their language is not always words. It's vibration, it's feeling. It's presence. They speak in the quiet. They speak in the pause. They speak in the places where the mind steps back and the heart steps forward. So make room for silence. Make room for wonder. Make room for the impossible. Because you are not here to just survive. You are here to remember your power, to walk the earth with clarity, to anchor the light in human form. And the best part. You don't have to wait. You don't have to wait for a retreat, a book, a guru, a moment when everything feels perfect. You just begin. You begin with breath. You begin with trust. You begin with the knowing that something greater is already guiding you. And as you trust it, the path reveals itself, not all at once, but step by step, moment by moment. You don't need to see the whole staircase. Just the next step, and right now this is it. This is the step, you listening, you remembering, you allowing. Everything that follows will come from this, so trust yourself. Even when you feel lost. Even when the way forward feels uncertain, even when your faith flickers, your soul knows the way. It's walked this path many times before, and every time you return to the breath, to the silence, to the space between the thoughts, you return to that knowing. You return to the divine. And that's the real gift. Not just opening your third eye, not just tuning in to other realities, but remembering that you were never apart from them. You are never separate. You are always connected, always guided, always enough. Take another breath. Let that truth settle in. Feel it like a soft light spreading through your chest, your throat, your mind. Feel the peace that comes not from answers, but from presence. Because sometimes, the most sacred thing is not knowing more but being here, fully, awake, open, alive. Let's stay here a moment longer. Let's not rush, let's rest in this space, where nothing is missing, where everything is already whole. You are here, you are now, you are free. You are free, not because of what you've done, but because of who you are. You were never trapped, you were only asleep. And now that you're waking, everything begins to change. But change doesn't always look how we expect. Sometimes it looks like chaos. Sometimes it looks like loss. Old things fall away. Old patterns dissolve. Old identities fade. And that can be uncomfortable, even painful. But that's how it works. The shell has to crack for the light to emerge. So if things feel uncertain right now, if it feels like the ground beneath you is shifting, that's not a sign you're lost. That's a sign you're being reborn. A new version of you. Stepping forward, one that's been waiting for this very moment. Anoint doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be fully formed. It just needs your yes. Just your willingness to step forward into the unknown with trust. Because the path will not reveal itself until you take the first step. That's the paradox of awakening. The knowing comes after the leap, not before. So breathe, let the fear rise, let it pass through, and then remember you are not the fear, you are the witness. You are the light watching it all unfold, and as the witness, you have a choice. You can follow the fear, or you can follow the light. Even when it's faint, even when it flickers, the light is always there. Because you are the source of it. You don't need to find the light. You are the light finding yourself. Let that truth settle in. Let it root itself in your being now. Let's return to the space between your eyebrows. The center of your inner vision. The third eye isn't something magical. It's natural. It's a deeper side. Was always yours. You used it as a child. You felt the energies in a room before anyone spoke. You saw things in the dark that weren't shadows. You heard voices in dreams that gave you messages you didn't understand. That wasn't fantasy, that was clarity, unfiltered. But the world taught you to tune it out, to ignore, to doubt, to hide. And now you're unlearning all of that. You're peeling back the layers, one breath at a time. So let's do that now. Place your focus gently on that space between your eyebrows. Don't force it. Just notice. What does it feel like? A pulse, a tingling, maybe warmth, or just awareness. That's enough. That's the door. The more you return to it, the clearer it becomes. And soon, you'll begin to see, not with your eyes, but with your knowing. Images will rise. Not from memory, but from intuition. Feelings will arrive, not from emotion, but from resonance. And the more you trust them, the more they reveal. But be patient. Don't rush the process. You're not forcing, you're remembering. This is not about doing, it's about allowing. Let yourself be still in order to receive. And what will you receive? Truth, guidance, clarity, love, and yes, messages. From guides, from angels, from the part of you that never forgot. These messages may come as words, but more often, they come as feeling. A knowing so deep it doesn't need to be explained. When you hear it, you'll feel peace, you'll feel warmth, you'll feel home, and you'll know this isn't coming from outside you. This is the Divians peeking through you. Because you are the vessel, you are the channel, you are the light. Not someday, not when you're better, right now, just as you are messy, imperfect, human, and divine, all at once. This is your return. This is the moment your soul chose to remember. Take a deep breath. Let it land.